Hey guys, this is Campfire 1. These are shorts. We're going to spend 10-15 minutes talking about a specific subject. There's not as much, there's more structure to these. We're going to be more direct, and Bryce and I are going to bring something that's more quick hitting. If you're on your commute, you don't have 50 minutes to listen to an entire podcast episode. This is something that's more like, hey, quickly digestible, something that we think something we really feel we want to talk about. What's the topic for tonight?
Yeah, you can apply it. I think what we were talking about before is just something that has pissed us off, either during the week or early in the day. And something that happened to me was, when you kind of go, even when you're walking, you're in the car. This happened to be on the golf course for me. But when you say hey to somebody and they just don't even acknowledge you.
Right. That's rough.
Yeah. It's tough. So
what is that?
I don't know. I think everybody has their own agenda with things, but at the same time, we're on Earth together, right? And especially, in the South, Texas, whatever, you have a certain persona. I feel like you need to uphold. Upstand's not. I don't think that's right.
Uphold. Yeah.
I like uphold.
Uphold's
but
good.
you need to, and it's not even about upholding that standard. It's just being a good person, right? So like anytime you're in, I think it trickles into your business, your home life, whatever. If you go through, your day without acknowledging human existence because you're either so pissed off or you're so anxious or you're so worried or you just, sometimes you are focused on what you're doing. But at the same time, I think you lose present, which present is you got to be present, right?
Yeah. I mean, otherwise, what are you working towards
right.
anyway, right? Who are you going to share it with? Like, it's crazy. Like, I was never a person to walk up to random strangers and be like, hey, what's up? But whenever I do, I've never had a bad conversation at the end of that.
Right.
I've never regretted doing it. And has anyone ever come up to you and said, "Hey man, what's up?" that you don't know and you've been mad about it or something?
Right.
No, it's always a positive impact of doing that. So why don't we do it more? It's crazy.
I agree.
It's crazy. I think that what we need to do is we need to be more intentional about being human and being okay being human, whether you're wearing Nike or a Versace suit or whatever. And let's all realize that we're just walking around on the planet together. We're all trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah. I definitely think that'll help in most facets of life, especially now. And I don't know if you've noticed this. I certainly have. But and we're not getting political, so don't worry. But things on the political realm or spectrum are getting violent.
Oh, man.
It is just like if you're
ugly.
this guy or you're this way and I'm this way, there's no like, hey, I hear what you're saying. I just don't agree with it. It is like you are wrong for thinking this way.
Yeah. And I think it's the online culture because we're so used to being able to say whatever we want online because there's no ramifications of it in the real world.
Yeah. So
then when we see people in person, we think those behaviors are acceptable. And like I can slander someone because I disagree with their philosophy on immigration or whatever. And we're not talking about politics. We're talking about people's emotional response to political issues.
Yeah.
It should never get that personal. Like, honestly, even if you disagree with the president, do you need to like make up lies about him? And I mean, and I'm traditionally a little bit more conservative, but I never remember saying anything like some of the things I'm hearing about Trump. I never remember hearing anything like that about Obama.
Right.
I remember being like, this is just getting a little bit out of hand now, And granted, I don't want to like get too into this, but Trump's approach does invite some of that, I will say. However, it's just there's no civility. Like it's just getting raw. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's helping anybody.
No,
at all.
Like, do you feel better after that?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? So I think it's all about, how you feel post interaction, so I think you brought up a good point. When you're online, there's no interaction there. I can't see, person A's face when I say this or feel their emotion or sense awkwardness.
Yeah.
And so, when we pass or are in passing or driving or whatever the case is, it's just like you're online. I'm going to say what I want to say, give you the bird or whatever, and just keep going because there's no ramifications.
Yeah.
But you never feel, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't ever feel good,
No.
when things like that happen. So
I feel like our obsession with short-term gratification, like immediate gratification, is only like it really leads us down a dark path when we want that from sending that negative like tweet or posting that negative thing, but we don't get it, and it actually makes us more depressed because there's emptiness. It's just like when you attack someone in a fight. for that split second, it feels good because you're going to hurt them. And you're like, yeah, take that. But then the second after, you're like, I feel like a total piece right now. Like, I really shouldn't have said that. You know, there's this shame that comes in right afterwards. Maybe we just need to, like, think before we speak a little bit more. Myself included.
Right.
Myself
a little bit
included.
easier said than done. So what's the challenge? If we're at a campfire right now, which we are.
I can hear the crackling of the fire.
I can too. I was about to say, use your imagination, people. But if we're at a campfire, what's the challenge? What do you want, our listeners to maybe get from this or see this and be able to carry today?
Good question. I would say let's get in habits. Habits are so powerful.
I like
positive ones or negative ones. Positive habit. What if the first 3 interactions you had with people, whether it's online or in person tomorrow morning, were proactively positive? So like you when you leave your house, you're like, the first person I see, I'm going to say, hey, have a great day. Or the first comment I leave, even if I like hate a video online, I'm going to comment on it, but instead of me saying that negative comment, how can I articulate that in a constructive way? What if we got in the habit of always trying to find something positive in everything? Imagine if everyone did that. That would be ridiculous what kind of change we would see in like a week.
Right.
And then like find a way to track it on a daily basis of how well you're doing. And if you mess up a day, don't give up. It's just a day, right? Just like a diet. Like you have one burger, you're not off the diet. Okay, you just had a cheat day. Get back on. And then maybe after a week, you're like, all right, I got 3 days out of 7. Maybe the next week I'll get 4 days out of 7. You start becoming a better person, right? Yeah. That's kind of cool. That would be my challenge.
I love it.
Would you have a different challenge, or you want to ride on that?
No, I love that challenge. I think, to piggyback off of that, I would just say, and this is going to be corny, I'm probably going to get a bunch of flack for this, but just like to smile. Like psychologists and everybody always says,
you're such a smiler.
Like Trevor's a big smiler too.
Big smiler. We all like Trevor.
We like, exactly. There's something that it releases endorphins to smile. So I think that, before you get in the car, if you are having a rough morning, which we all have those mornings, if you just take half a second, you just put a smile on, I think it'll along with those habits that you're talking about creating, I think bode well to carry that out throughout the day instead of letting it go down a slippery slope, especially if you're already kind of upset with the kids this morning, you got a bad email, presentation late, whatever it is. We all have life and that happens, but at the same time you also have the ability to choose. We always say that at Baylor, and you have the ability to choose, which I love, but you can choose being positive, like you can choose being negative. So if you smile, create some good habits, I think that's a great session 1 on the Campfire Talk.
I agree. This is exciting. I think this will be a good way to just provide value in short spurts to people and share what's on our heart. Love it. So we're excited to keep this thing rolling, guys. Thanks for tuning in.